not know that.
It's absolutely.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know what day. Just for like 15 minutes today.
That's so sweet. Did you know MSC Plus Jessica that Sam Sevilla is setting up an online menu for Jessica to say Kaddish?
Yeah, no, Monday, I don't know what days, but twice a week.
That is awesome. That is so meaningful. I do know of 8 p.m. online national. Cares to. That is so.
Yes, my question. So like different, like I got, talk with Dr. Johnson that Ray 11 sent it to me as part of the morning thing. And I wonder though if we could test it out for the whole congregation.
It's a great question. Let me
Question to ask.
And if we
Rabbi
talk
Ario,
about like,
president and all that.
it was the question.
Yeah, I think it's so a few things. One, the means that it's getting sent out and around are the means that are going to result in people coming to it. I think probably the congregational email would potentially end up 0 more people, and it's going to be like sort of meetings for them. So let me talk to Rabbi Ario today or tomorrow, and I can get back to you.
Okay, because we had discussion that we could send it out to the caring community. And but make it clear that it's not like an obligation to volunteer, but more like as a member of the
Yeah, and I think
city staff, that maybe other people want to know how to have that opportunity. And that's why people are putting it out there.
Yeah, I think the challenge is like it's so powerful and sweet to say these vendors. If it was someone who was less qualified coming in, or like, do we have the capacity to do this for someone who's a little less competent? Yeah. Let me touch base with that later.
That's fine.
And what's your sister? What does she do with her tail? She's not working. Does she have the same stuff going on with this girl? I guess she's been checked out.
Do you want to pass those out now? Yeah. Both of them.
We're going to start with just a simple chant. The words are Kosi Rivaya. These words are drawn from Psalm 23 and mean my cup overflows. We're in that overflow time, the in-between moments right after death, in which it's so important to be drawn together. It's a simple chant. Feel free to join in. Kosi Rivaya, Kosi Rivaya, Kosi Rivaya, Kosi Rivaya, Kosi Rivaya, Kosi Rivaya, ya ya yo, ya ya ya, ya ya ya, ya ya yo.
It is with much sadness today that we gather to honor the memory of Robin Willowbeth Wicks. We recall the blessing of her life. We are thankful for all that was good and true in her life and for the precious memories which shall endure. At difficult times like this, we are fortunate that we are not alone. We turn to words from our tradition and from our beloved Jessica as a source of comfort. This is called Life Goes On. It's based on Ecclesiastes and was written by Rabbi Jill Hammer. Life is born and life moves on, and the earth has held and will hold it all. The sun rises and the sun sets and returns again to rise and fall. The wind turns south and the wind turns north, turning, returning still. The rivers run from the clouds to the sea, and become the rain, and the sea is never filled. So the beginning moves to the end, and the end flows on to begin again. The one at the end is the one who begins, and the breath of breaths is within all things.
I'll now read a passage from that same psalm, Psalm 23, an interpretive translation by Nan Merrill. Oh, my beloved, you are my shepherd. I shall not want. You bring me to green pastures for rest and lead me beside still waters, renewing my spirit. You restore my soul. You lead me in the path of goodness to follow love's way. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow and of death, I am not afraid. You are ever with me. Your rod and your staff, they guide me. They give me strength and comfort. You prepare a table before me in the presence of all my fears. You bless me with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the heart of the beloved forever.
Jessica wrote some love poems to Robin, and she will share two of them with us today, one called Wind Whispers, and the other, The Stream of Life.
Okay, the first poem that I wrote was on her birthday while we were still dating before she moved in. Wind whispers. Do you feel it? The wind whispers of mystery, glorious mystery in and around like the soft movement of butterfly wings. Can you hear them? Wind whispers upon the heart, telling of newfound love. From the wasteland of devastation, from the loneliness of bitterness, new life has sprung. Look, the cocoon protecting us from the depravity of soullessness is no longer needed. Flitting to and fro, can you hear them? Wind whispers on our heart, lighter than air, and our joy knows no bounds. Wind whispers of our love, and the whispers become our own. Whispers of intimacies. Two lives, two loves are now one. And I added down below, happy birthday, my sweet whisper. The other one I was musing, and I just really wrote it in the singular, but it seemed really appropriate for us. The stream of life. And we are but pebbles in a mountain stream, being formed and reformed by the world around us, being formed and reformed by that outside of us, but which is a part of us, or we of it. And as we tumble or are tumbled along, the rough edges become smoothed, and the inner begins to shine outward, tumbling along in a part of the world, tumbling same as we. And some stones bump against us, or pull ahead, or stay behind, and other stones nestle beside, you see, sharing some time in this stream of life. And when we have tumbled enough and shine as we should and done all that we could, there lies that bright shining sea of the hereafter where we can lie in peace. And our place in the stream is filled by another, cleansing its sharp edges, falling off its sharp ledges till smooth and clean it arrives as well. And all along, stream and ocean as well, currents of life swirling around at each step, our heaven and our hell, in the spiraling cycle of life's sweet song.
We'll add to the love poetry.
I handed out a little half sheet with the words of the melody, "We are loved." Feel free to pick up on the refrain or pick up on the whole song if you know it. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of our fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, by unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, by unending love.
This is called From Practice for Death by Taryn Estes. I return to the light. I release my body to the earth. I retrieve my energy from all worldly things. I relax into the source of my being. Death is my teacher. I release my spirit to the light. I am forgiven. My work is done. I return to the light. Rabbi Harold Kushner tells a story of sitting on a beach one summer day, watching two children playing in the sand. They were hard at work building an elaborate sandcastle by the water's edge with gates and towers and moats. Just when they had nearly finished their project, a big wave came along and knocked it down, reducing it to a heap of wet sand. Rabbi Kushner expected the children to burst into tears, devastated by what had happened to all their hard work. But they surprised him. Instead, they ran up the shore away from the water, laughing and holding hands, and sat down to build another castle. Rabbi Kushner realized that they had taught him an important lesson. He reflected, all the things in our lives, all the complicated structures we spend so much time and energy creating are built on sand. Only our relationships to other people endure. Sooner or later, the wave will come along and knock down what we have worked so hard to build up. When that happens, only the person who has somebody's hand to hold will be able to laugh. I can't help but think that Robin Willowbeth Wicks would have been one of those children on the beach with her beloved Jessica Wicks. I imagine she would have loved building elaborate sandcastles, and together with Jessica, they would have described it with one of their favorite sayings. It's another Robin and Jessie adventure. Unfortunately, Robin did not have that carefree sandcastle life as a child. She was born in Houston on October 25th, 1955, to a woman who was not attentive to her. Robin married young, had a son, and moved to Germany with her husband, who was in the military. But later, when she returned to Texas, they divorced. Then she married for a second time, and it was another loveless marriage. Slowly, Robin figured out she was attracted to women. Robin met Jessica when they both worked for the Texas Department of Human Services. A mutual friend who also worked there decided to set them up. According to Jessica, the first date in September didn't go well. But on a second date at the Renaissance Festival, everything changed. By the end of the day, they were a thing. By Thanksgiving, Robin moved in with Jessica. They lived in Montrose, a wonderful neighborhood in Houston. If you Google Robin and Jessica Wicks, as I did last night, you will learn about the history they made. Robin and Jessica had a very public wedding. The Houston Chronicle wrote, "A love-struck couple from Houston made history on Wednesday by obtaining the first marriage license issued in Texas to two lesbians." "Everybody keeps talking about us making history. We just want to get married," said Jessica Wicks. "I love Robin with all my heart and soul, and we deserve to be married." Let me share a little bit about the backstory. In 1999, the state of Texas ruled that the gender listed on a resident's birth certificate was definitive. The court had a case that voided a marriage between a cisgender man and a transgender woman. The unintended consequence was that it allowed for same-sex marriages in which one of the partners is transgendered. Jessica and Robin were the first couple to publicly take advantage of the loophole, and they were married September 16th, 2000, 24 years ago yesterday. They had a private ceremony a week prior on September 10th, and you'll see on the table out there a beautiful picture of them in their wedding attire. Robin and Jessica ultimately came to the conclusion that Texas was not a safe space for them. As Jessica told me, it was always one thing after another. I picture the waves on the beach coming crashing down and the enduring love of Robin and Jessica remaining strong. Jessica knew of Minnesota's reputation for being supportive of trans people. After their very public wedding, it was a good time to leave Texas. They moved here in October of 2000. Robin found a job at Wachovia Bank and then Wells Fargo after Wachovia was taken over by them. She retired 6 years ago. Jessica often shares that she and Robin were total opposites, and somehow it worked. Jessica describes Robin as a seeker. She explored every corner of the internet. She was curious and believed somewhere out there was the secret of life. She had every vitamin there is. She did art projects. She stayed in touch with her half-sister Peggy and explored genealogy. She read every vampire book. As someone on the spectrum, Robin had the gift of exploring deeply. Jessica said, whatever rabbit hole she wanted to chase down, I loved her for it. Robin, an introvert, was perfectly happy to be by herself in her room during her projects or reading, but she and Jessica enjoyed each other's company. Early on, they did things like going camping, sharing their love of the woods and lakes. Later on, they did less outdoors and instead would watch movies or British TV together. They could talk with one another all day about family and friends, sharing their Texas roots. They told each other their stories, and equally stubborn, they learned to listen to each other. They were there for each other. Robin and Jessica were sustained by the home they built together. In English, the word home carries many layers of meaning and emotion. In Hebrew, the word for home, bayit, is even more richly evocative. For one thing, bayit means both home and house. It's both a temporary physical structure and a lasting inner feeling. Bayit is also how the ancient rabbis referred to the two Jerusalem temples. So the word bayit also means a spiritual home. There's more. Talmudic rabbis referred to the chuppah, the marriage canopy, as a bayit. So home is the place where you meet your beloved. In Aramaic, the language of the Talmud, the word for spouse is bayit. So for the Talmud, home is your spouse. You are at home when you are with her. For 24 years, Jessica and Robin were each other's home. Jessica said, "I love you" to Robin every day for the last 24 years. When they got married, Jessica said, "Love is love. Love is all there is." And they were the last words Robin heard before she died, as Jessica repeated them at her bedside. Death is not the enemy of life, but its companion, for it is the knowledge that our years are limited which makes them so precious. Ironically, death enhances memory and makes even more vivid all that is meaningful and lasting. Death cannot erase a life and the love that ennobled it. True, you will not see Robin again, nor hear her familiar voice. That is, you will not see with your eyes, nor hear as you heard before, but in your mind's eye you will see. And in the holy of holies of your heart, Jessica, you will carry Robin and the deep love you shared for the rest of your life. And through the precious gift of memory, you will continue to enjoy all the Robin and Jessie adventures. We pause now for a moment of personal prayer, memory, or reflection. As you're able, please rise for the mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on the gray card. Please join with me. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol beit Israel, Bagala Vizman Kari Vimru Amen. Yehesh Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Ome Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudashah brihu. Le'ela minko berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran bialma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'ko Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'ko Yisrael v'ko yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May God grant peace to all those who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us. And may Robin's memory serve as an inspiration, Jessica, for all the days of your life. Shiva will take place this Thursday at 7 p.m., and there's a link on Zoom, or a link you will find for the Zoom.
We'll close with one more opportunity for breath and then song, the same song that we came in with. Let's take a second to take a big breath in and out. Kosi revaya, kosi revaya, kosi revaya, kosi revaya, kosi revaya, kosi revaya. Feel free to stick around and schmooze for a little while, folks. Jessica, thank you again, as I said at the beginning, for the opportunity to be with you here in community.